Can't exercise too much because that's too manly. But if I don't exercise enough, then I don't have the right body to fit into society's view of what I should look like. So I can only do it a certain way. Hi, I'm Victoria Rush. I'm the director of No Woman No Try. So the idea of No Woman No Try came to me after the I'm Enough movement. I wanted to try and take what we'd created and the empowerment of women, but turn it into something that men would also watch. And I was sat in my living room trying to work out like what the best next step was. This fantastic movement, like it was global. So many people got involved from all over the world. And I was like, how do we take what they've created and turn it into something that could last forever? I sat in my living room staring at a blank TV. I just thought if I could get my dad to watch something on the telly, somebody else might do that. They might get their dad to watch something, or their husband or their son or their friend to watch it, and maybe that would help us make some of the change that we'd see. If whatever it is that we create could go on that, then it might just help to make a difference tomorrow, and someone might make a better decision tomorrow than they would have made yesterday, and that's how change happens. So the I'm Enough movement, for people who don't know it, was off the back of Canterbury, the kit maker. They launched the Irish international kit. They used the male players as models for the men's kit, which makes sense. For the women's kit, they superimposed the new photos onto female models. It took away a huge opportunity for the female players who could have been in that campaign to be seen by their nation, to gain notoriety, the opportunity to gain more sponsorship. It takes the opportunities away from these people, but still gives it to the men. And in many ways, it represents how female athletes are seen, is that even though you play for your country, it doesn't really mean as much as it does for the male players to do it, and it doesn't matter as much. We don't really care, like, it's fine, we're not going to pay you to come, but we're going to pay the guys to do it. It had been put out on Twitter that this had happened, but with that came a lot of negative commentary about how female athletes aren't good looking enough to be models. But you look at footballers, it doesn't matter if they're good looking or not, they're good at their job, so they get the top job for modelling or for whatever, or for the front of FIFA or whatever it may be. So why is it any different for the female athletes? Because it always comes down to how somebody perceives what they look like. It's an individual's view on whether or not they think you're good looking enough to be the front of their campaign. But the men, it doesn't matter. They're the best. Johnny Sexton's the best at what he does, so you pick him. But you go to the women's team and you question whether or not you want to pick them. It just reminded me of being a kid and trying to go to the gym when I was like 16, 17 at school, and the boys told me only lesbians went to the gym, and what the hell does my orientation have to do with whether or not I want to exercise in a certain way? So the only way I'm allowed to exercise is by playing sport that my school gives me. So that was really what it was all about, was just making sure somebody in the future doesn't have to feel the way I did when I was their age.
So the impact of No Woman No Try has been absolutely huge throughout the rugby community, educating people on, the hardships that women go through to be able to play their sport, something they absolutely love, and that should be an opportunity, yet they're faced with so many barriers, so many things that they're coming against, whether it be not getting the right kit or not given the opportunity to play on the first team pitch, whether they don't have funding or the support network that they should have. It shows all that side of sport. We're not just talking about the fluffy fun stuff, we're actually showing the real life and the barriers that women have to overcome to achieve the highest level or to play something that they absolutely love, whatever level. I'm Rocky Clark MBE World Cup winner 2014. Why I play rugby and why I'm obsessed with it is the passion and the drive and the amount that I've got back from it for the last 20 odd years. The experiences I've had have been absolutely amazing, and they've shaped me as the person that I am today. I've made lifelong friends, I've seen so many amazing things, and I've experienced things so many people haven't. And to call myself a world champion and to be able to lift up that trophy in 2014 was the best day of my life. And as you can see, while I'm smiling, it brings so much happiness back to Rocky. So managing a professional career as an amateur player was really bloody tough, but I was really lucky that the job I had was really understanding. I was coaching at Chesham Stags and they were very understanding, so when I wasn't available, another coach would come in and take over. I had to fit personal training in and around my fitness regime and my different training sessions, so whether it be that I was coaching at 6 a.m. in the morning, off to rugby at 9, coming back, finishing that and then going off to coaching in the evening. That was really tough and days lasted sort of 16, 18 hours. I was one of the lucky ones. Somebody like Sophie Hemming, my tight head prop, World Cup winner in 2014, she's a vet, so she'd be up at 5 every morning, training, going off to the gym, doing a full day's work from sort of 8 till 6, go off to Bristol training, 7 till 10, and then she'd get back about 11. How do you have time to have a social life, to keep a relationship, to eat, to sleep, to fit all these things in? So that's why being professional is so important, and seeing the girls now prosper from the England team, and thankfully now in the Six Nations we've got the rest of the teams all coming on board. That's going to make a big difference to their preparation and their playing performance.
Now kids have social media, and yeah, 13 is the like entry level age to social media, but we all know kids younger than that access it. So they go online, they see all these comments about how women don't deserve to be athletes or don't deserve to be models, whatever it may be, and what does that feel like to them inside? So do they then choose not to play sport or not to follow their dreams because some arsehole on Twitter told them that they don't deserve to do it or they shouldn't do it? I just thought this is our opportunity to create the alternative narrative to that. So they might see that being said, but as long as they see us saying the opposite, hopefully it means they will follow what they want to do, they will follow their dreams, they will pick up sport. They might pick up rugby, which is obviously what I would love, but they'll pick up anything.
Future of women's rugby, just to be absolutely everything that men's rugby is, equal coverage, representation, and have all the same access to everything.
We'd love to play rugby union and not under 19 laws.
I want to see more girls like me.
I'd like to see more girls being active in the decision making around rugby, in rugby clubs, getting on the board, being part of committees, not just representing women and what they do, but helping with big decisions, being a chairperson, a president and things like that. That's what I'd really love to see in the future.
I'd like women to be more than just a hashtag and to rather be the face of rugby and be shown worldwide.
I would like future players just to be known as rugby players and not just girls rugby players.
We're not allowed to play rugby at school, it's all about football, and I don't like that it's all football because rugby also should be in schools too. One day I really, really want to play for England. It would just be an experience of a lifetime and I would really love to do it.
I want to play for England and Harlequins when I'm older.
I want to just play for Ireland.
I want to play for Harlequins. I want to play for like England or like any club.
I knew based off of the conversation I had, the very first conversation I had with Victoria about what it was going to be about and what her goal was in creating it, I knew that it was going to be something that was going to have a positive impact on a community that I care very deeply about, and I wanted to do anything that I could to support it. If she had asked me to hold a sound boom or drive people around, I would have done that instead, but thankfully she asked me to talk on a camera. A lot of people who have watched the film and wanted to talk to me about the film have said something along the lines of how it changed their mind in some way, and I think that's the best part for me, and that has kind of manifested in a bunch of different ways. Sometimes they've changed their mind on whether or not women should be able to have kit. They've changed their mind on whether or not where women's professionalism is in the sport is fair or not fair. Or they've just said, you know what, like, I empathize and I didn't before. And that, I think, is the hugest change. If we can all find a way to feel what someone else is feeling in a different life, in a different situation, the world's going to be a better place. So that's been the best thing for me.